Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to do some of those tag topper tucks that I that I thought about the other day when I was doing Melina's challenge. So we're going to do some of those today, and what I have here is just some pieces of scrap. I guess it's lightweight chipboard that I have cut out, and this is just from paper pad backings, that kind of thing. So I've just cut some of those out. I've cut these at 3 by 5.5. That's the size that we're going to make these. Now, one of these I'm going to use as my template. So I'm going to go ahead and write my template on here. And then I'm going to cut my corners on my template like I want them. And then all I'll do from there on is just use my template to put up next to those and cut them just like I'd have my template. So there's my template. And I'm going to write on here, this is 3 by 5.5. This is my standard size tag. But, you know, you can always make them bigger or smaller. It just depends on what journal you're going to be using. But this is kind of standard for me. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is, let's see, what am I going to do? I am going to take some of these. These are just the scrap pieces from this. And I'm going to use my Molly punch, my 1.5 inch punch. And I'm going to punch out some circles. Now, you could also use this punch. I got it out, but it'd be quite big. You need one a little bit smaller than that. And this one is really too small. So, neither one of those would work, but you could use one, you know, a little scallop punch or something like that, and that'd be really pretty. I am just going to use these for the time being, because I think they'll work fine. You don't even have to use a circle. You can just cut out something, or you can just make you some squares, or make you some rectangles, whatever you want, or just put a piece of paper up there. It doesn't have to be these. I'm just using these because I had them left over, and I didn't want to waste them, so why not? Because see, I could just cut that in two and use that if I wanted to. Okay. Got a few of those cut. Now, I'm going to use the paper from Betty, and this is Betty's Custom Designs on Etsy. This paper is gorgeous. I will put the name and the link and everything below. Right now, the name just escapes me, but I will put all of that below. But I'm going to use some of these. These are kind of a neutral, and they're light, so you could use these with just about any journal or collection that you're working on. Sorry, I was just kind of looking to see where I wanted to start. I think I'll use this as the first one right there. And I'm going to use glue stick just because this I printed on regular copy paper. If you print it on a thicker paper, you wouldn't have to do that. But I printed mine on regular copy paper, so I need to use my glue stick so that my glue doesn't show through. And this is just a backing from a sticky labels. I couldn't get that out, could I? Sticky labels. Oh, these getting off the first time is tough for me. All right, so we're going to get started. What are you guys up to today? What are you doing? What are you making? Everybody busy? Are you working? Tell me what you're doing in the comments below. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit so that I can keep it away from that white part that's on the edge right there. So we're just going to do that. And I think I'm just going to put a few across here. I can always use a different paper for other ones, but I like this paper, and it's different colors all the way across, so I think I'll just put a few across and go from there. I hope you are all feeling well. Hope everybody is okay and not sick. We're doing good around here so far. Got that Brooklyn's birthday party done, so she's a happy little girl. Now this is a shiny paper right here, but I've had lots of comments about using shiny paper and do they stick and that kind of thing, and I've not had a problem with it with this glue. I would, you know, I can't guarantee with the glue that you use that you want, but I've not had a problem. Okay, that's all that we're going to be able to get on that one. So we'll grab us another. Isn't that pretty? I'm just trying to coordinate these with some of the albums that I have going right now, some of the journals. And they all really coordinate, but I was just looking through. Ooh, I like these two really, really well. They will go with the journals that I'm making right now. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on here. Now I use these for the inside of my tags just because it's not a real thick chipboard. It's kind of thin, but it gives the tag enough stability that it doesn't bend and that kind of thing. And I do go ahead and put a little piece of cardstock or something on the back. That just helps it. That just is there for the writing. Because some of these you could write on the back and some of them are not. You couldn't. Like this one, I wouldn't necessarily leave that like that chipboard. That's a really thin chipboard. I think that's 0.22. So that one works good. And I'm just going to use the paper to put my glue on. It's going to be sticky anyway. Okay. Okay. So there we've got those on. So that's 6 already. So you can mass make these. We may call it mass making tag topper tucks. How do you like that word? And I'll probably stitch around mine. You don't have to do that. Just make sure if you're not going to stitch that you put quite a bit of glue. Ooh, let me make sure that I'm putting that the right way up. No, I was not. See, it's a good thing I looked. I hope I put those other ones the right way up. Did I? Yes, I did. Well, you know, it really doesn't matter at this point if they're the right way up or the upside down, does it? I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't think I'm thinking this morning. We had storms come through about 3 o'clock this morning, and it woke me up, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I have been up working since then, and now I'm getting sleepy. But I've already had my coffee and all of that, so I'm good to go. We have those sudden pop-up storms that it had lots of, it normally wouldn't wake me up, but it had lots of lightning in it. And when it's lightning, you know, you can see it through your window, so therefore you really don't sleep that much. That's pretty too. Ooh, I like that. I don't have any more cut out though, so. All right, we're gonna go ahead and work on these that we have because I don't have any more cut out right now of these little inserts. But you could always cut a ton out and just keep making. We may make more when we get through with this. It'll just depend. Now all I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to cut straight across the bottom like that. I'll save that piece and I'll go ahead and cut straight across the bottom on all of these. And now we'll add our backing and then we'll cut all these out, I think. Okay, then I'm just going to cut down the middle of these and then I'm going to put the backing on, I think. Okay, we shall trim around these. And then we'll go ahead and put our backing on and then we'll cut our little indentions at the top. I don't trim around them, I won't know where to cut when I put the backing on. So, all right, while I'm trimming these, I'm going to talk to you. Everybody always cringes when I say that. While I'm trimming these, I'm going to talk to you. I had someone the other day that said, I wish you would just use digitals because some of us can't afford those paper pads that you're using. Just because I use a paper pad to make something doesn't mean that you have to. I'm just showing you how to make it. You can use any kind of paper that you have. Just use what you have in your stash. That doesn't mean you have to go out and buy that paper just because I use it. I use what I have. If I have a new collection, then of course I'm going to use that because I want to show you guys the new collection. But that doesn't mean that you have to buy it. I'm just showing it to you. Some people want me to show it because they want to see the new collections. But you use what you have in your stash. Don't think that just because I use it, I'm saying you got to use this. No. If you have digitals, you use digitals. So that is not, I mean, I have a business, I have a store. So the way that I advertise, I don't pay a lot of people for advertising for me. The way that I advertise is through my videos. So, you know, I'm just showing you the paper pads and the new collections. Doesn't mean you have to buy them. I'm not forcing anybody to buy anything. If you want to buy them, that's fantastic. It helps us out. But if you don't, and you can't afford it, then that's fine too. You do what you can do. I do what I do. All right, we have all of those covered and cut out. And now I'm just going to find some paper to put on the back. And I think I'm just going to use some of my dyed paper, I believe, and grab it here. Or I might use some of this. That is really good to write on. This is the drawing paper that I get off of Amazon. I always have it linked below. You can get it like 500 sheets, or I don't know, maybe it's 5,000 sheets. I can't remember, but it's a huge stack for just a few dollars. It's very, very inexpensive. But it's fantastic for the kids, but it's also fantastic to use for the backings on your tags. So I think I'll use some of that. I already have it right here at hand. And then I save my dyed papers for other things. Oh, me. Let's see. Now this is pretty thick, so I think I'm going to go back to my art glitter glue on this. You could keep using your glue stick. It doesn't matter. I just love my art glitter glue, and when I can use it on something that it won't show through, then that's my preferred glue. But I do love that glue stick. It's not quite as bad as a lot of them are, and it does hold well. I've not ever had any issues with it. Now someone said, can you guarantee that glue stick is going to hold? Well, I can't guarantee it's going to hold in your area. And that's what I like too about this paper. I covered 5 tags with one sheet because it's larger than 8.5 by 11. It is, let's just see how big it is. It is 12 inches by 9. So it's a 9 by 12. So you can get lots of good out of one of these sheets. But I'll link them below if they're, like I said, I normally have them linked, but I'll make sure that they're linked so that you can go over and take advantage of it, because I like to use my dyed papers, but when I've got a lot of journals to make like I do right now, I've got a lot to put inserts in, then I like to use something like this instead of using up my dyed papers, my hand dyed papers. But I use these in my journals too. I use these sheets. I just cut them down and use them. And I have a huge stack of them. But I have used a ton too. Isn't that pretty? These are going to look really good in the journals that I'm doing right now. I am getting a little bit low on my art glitter glue. I need to refill it. And we do have more of the large 16-ounce refill bottles coming. We sold out of those real quick, and we've got more on order. We can get the 16-ounce and the 8-ounce and the 2-ounce, but they can't get bottles to put their 4-ounce in. So I don't know what's going on in this world. Well, I do know what's going on in this world, but I wish it would hurry up and go away so we can get back to somewhat near normal, whatever normal might be. All right, we're going to trim these out, and then we'll cut our little tops, and then we'll decide what we're going to do from there. All right, now here's where we need to make sure that we get the top at the top. We need to get it the right way up. Up to this point, it didn't matter. But when we put this little template on there and trim these top corners, we need to make sure that this paper is the right way up. And it is, but I need to trim a little bit right there. So there is one. And pull my little bucket over here so I can hopefully trim the giblets off in it. There we go. This just makes fast and easy tags. And then when we start making those little toppers, we're going to make fast and easy toppers too. That one didn't look exactly even. Let's see. It's a little bit off. I think I let it slide a little bit. Your template is just as good as the person holding it. You know that, don't you? Oh, me. That didn't do me any good to bring my bucket over here if I'm not going to hit it. Well, it looks like it might accidentally clear up a little bit today. We're hoping. It has rained the last 2 days, I guess. Started raining. Well, now it's rained 3 days. It started raining Tuesday. So we have got lots of water out there. And of course, my grandbabies just want to swim, so they're praying for it to stop raining. We don't really let them go in when it's raining because you never know when there might be lightning nearby. So unless it's just, you know, sprinkling a little bit and you can tell that it's really not a storm, that's the only time we let them go in there, when it's raining. Okay, so all of our tags are cut. They're all uniform because we used our template. Now we're going to use this for a little topper. And what we're going to do is leave just a little bit up past the top of the tag. And then we're going to glue just a little streak right across here. And what I would do normally is I would just stitch a little stitch across there. But I'm going to show you how just to glue them. You don't have to have anything special to make these. You don't have to have a sewing machine. I'm going to go ahead, whoops, that didn't glue down so well. I'm going to go ahead and ink mine before I put my toppers on. It's just a little bit easier to do that. So we're going to ink and then we'll put our toppers on there. All right, now let's make our tag toppers. So you can do this in a lot of different ways. I think I'm going to use this side of this, and then I wouldn't even have to cover the back side if I didn't want to, because that didn't look so bad to me. So I'm going to use this side and figure out what we're going to put on here. You can use all different kinds of things. You can use other pieces of paper. You can use material. You can use, I've got some cheesecloth here. Let me see if I can find an end to it. I do have cheesecloth here. Okay, let's just cut a piece of that. You can use lace. Lace is pretty. This is like double or tripled, so let me see if I can pull it apart. There we go. All right, we're going to use a little piece of this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue down here, and then I'm going to bunch that cheesecloth up. I'm just going to put it down and just kind of bunch it up, and any excess I'll just trim off. Get my little tool here because it's sticking to my fingers. Alright, and then I just give it a little haircut because I'm not real fond of all of those little pieces sticking out there. I like a little bit of it, but not a ton. So I give it a little haircut. And then, what else shall we put on here? You could put a butterfly. That might be pretty. Or you can put a flower. See about that butterfly. Well, that butterfly might be pretty to go with that. It's got that little bit of blue in there. I'm going to go ahead and trim around it just a little bit more and take that white away. Okay, then I'm going to put just a little bit of ink on there. That just takes care of any of the places that I might have missed trimming. And then we're going to put that right down in the center, and I'm just going to glue the center part of him down. Let's see, like that. And I'm going to hold that for just a second because I am using art glitter glue to glue on top of cheesecloth. So it will glue, but you need to hold it just a little bit. Okay. Then you guys know what we're going to do now. We're going to put some of our trim in the middle. And someone sent me a bunch of this trim the other day. I can't even remember now who did. I will have to look. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know I will use it. Okay. And we're going to try to use our Fabri-Tac on this because I know it will hold quicker. Your art glitter glue will hold to do this, but you need to hold it just a little bit in place because it does take it a minute to set. Whereas your Fabri-Tac, not so much. If you get some on there, that is. Alright, so that one is ready. Close my Fabri-Tac up because I have left it open long enough that I need to, what do I need to do? You guys know what I need to do. I need to put acetone in it. Okay, I'm going to put that down, I think, like that. Now, I could have covered that white on that little circle, and I probably should have, but I'm going to go in and just put some ink on it, and I think it'll be okay. But the next one, I think I will cover with paper. I didn't really think at the time of what all I was going to put on it, but I'm just going to put a little ink around it, and that will work. So I think we're going to put that down like that. I want my butterfly turned a little bit. And I'm just going to put my glue right across here. About 1/3 of the way down. And you just need to put about 1/4 of an inch strip depending on how big of a piece you're using. And then I leave just a little bit sticking up. The biggest part is down here. Okay, we'll lay that one aside and let it dry, and then we'll make the little tuck for it. So there's one. All right, let's use this, but let's go ahead and put some kind of paper on the front of this. And we can use some of those scraps that we had. That will work fine. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of trying to trim around that, I'm just going to punch some of these out. That will be a whole lot easier for me because I don't trim circles so well. There we go. Now we can just put our glue right here. And you could cover the back too if that's what you want to do. If you have just a piece of chipboard or something and you want to cover the back, you can do that. I'm only leaving the back uncovered because I think the back doesn't look so bad. So, there we go. Perfect little circle. I'm going to put a little ink around it just to cover up those white edges. And then we can go ahead and put, let's see, we can put some lace on there. There's a little piece of lace. And this is kind of a light mint green. And then on top of that, what shall we put? Oh, you know what? We can grab a flower and put on top of that because this is such a pretty design that some of these flowers are going to go with it. And these are really kind of flat flowers, so they're not going to put a lot of bulk in your, in your journal. They're kind of flat. The only part that sticks up a little bit is that center part, and you can kind of squish it down if you want, or you can use just some little tiny flat flowers. It doesn't matter. On this one, I think we'll just use that one. I think that will be okay. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac here. And I'm just going to let my lace run like that. Then, do we want to put anything else on there before we put our flower down? Let's see. So many options. That would look like? No, that would cover it completely up. Let's just put our flower down. I mean, anything else, our flower is just going to cover it up anyway. So let's just use a little flower on this. You could use a button, a charm. There we go. All right, and then we can put that down just like that. So I'm going to run my glue this way. I like to turn them a little bit so that they're not completely straight. I mean, I know this is a circle, but you know what I mean. I like to turn it so that these little things don't stick straight down. They go kind of sideways. I think that makes it better, in my opinion. Okay, so there's that one. Lay it aside and let it dry. Now let's go ahead and put together a few more of these. And then we will start making our little tuck. Okay, I am going to use a piece of the vellum out of these little packs. These are some that I got off of AliExpress, and I do have more of these ordered. It's a ton in here. A ton. Ooh, that would be pretty too. I think I'll use that one on the next one maybe. And they're just little vellum printed sheets. So I think we'll use this one. And I'm going to tear around this vellum. I'm going to tear as close as I can to the edge. But I just need a little torn look. And just keep my little bird there. There we go. And then we'll ink this up. And that will go there on that. Then we could put, what could we put now? Let me look and see what else I have over here in my little stash. We could put some seam bonding. What could we put? We could put one of these, but that's going to cover up all of my little bird. I tell you what, we could put one of these underneath and then put that on top. Why don't we do that? And I'm just going to tear this. This is just some of those pieces that I have stamped on using my Tim Holtz stamp. And we are out of those right now. We've got more on order. It's just, you know, we buy what we can and they send us what they can, and we have to go from there. But this is a fantastic stamp. It's got tons and tons of stamps in it. Okay, so I'm going to glue that in the middle. I'm going to put that down. And then we'll come across, and let's use our Bearly Arts glue to come across the center. So there are two, and I got interrupted, so I have no clue where I was. I got interrupted and I had to stop my video for a while. I think we were right here. We had made this, so I think I'm going to put this on one of the blue ones since we got that blue bird, but I want something as a focal point in the middle. Why don't we try a button? See if we got a button that we might like. That's a huge button, is it not? Don't want that one. What about that one? No, that's too big. It would make it too thick. When you're thinking about buttons, think about the thinnest ones you can find. And I don't know if I'm going to find a thin one in here. No. All of these are kind of thick. I don't know, that might work. That one's not quite as thick as the others. So we will put that one down on there. I'm going to turn my glue upside down and let it get ready, because I think I will have to use it here in a minute. Alright, I don't think I'm going to cover that back. That's okay with me for that showing. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue across there. And just have just a little bit sticking up. Like that. Then we'll put that button down right there, and I'm trying to decide, I think I want to put some thread in it just to make it look like it's stitched on there. And this is some thread. This is some thread that my grandbaby, when she was a little bitty thing, she decided she wanted to cut up all my thread. And she got some scissors and got over in the floor, and I didn't know what she was doing. I mean, I thought she was just playing with her little dolls that she had over there. Well, after they left, I got to looking, and she had taken a lot of my thread, and she had just cut it in little bitty strips. But guess what? I still use it. I couldn't throw it away. She thought she was helping. And yes, that was Miss Brooklyn. I can't get that one through there. I should have put a needle on the end of it, I think. Okay, so that's what we did right there. We just run it through there, a little X. And I'm going to go ahead and just tie the bottom. Just tie it in a knot or two. That way it doesn't come out. Even if I fail to glue it good, the thread won't come out. And then we'll just cut that off right up near the button, and that way it's all good, and we can just glue this down. And we'll put that right there. So there is another one. Now that's not all we're going to do to them, so stick around. You will see what all we do to them in just a minute. Now I'm going to cover the back of this one because this actually has part of a paper pad collection kind of on the back. It doesn't have those flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the back of this one, but I have plenty of scraps over here that I can use. But all of your journals that you guys have pre-ordered from me, I have most of them done. I think I like 2, and I should be able to get those done tonight or first thing in the morning. And the other ones will be shipping out in the morning. They're already finished. You know what? I should have cut that little circle with that punch. Now we're going to do a little bit of inking. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink both sides. Don't know right now which side I want to use. I'm thinking I might want a little piece of this material, and this is just some canvas. Whoops, grabbed everything with my scissors. Just a little piece of canvas on there, and I'm just going to fray it on all sides. This fray is very easy. And then we'll put that down like that. I may fray it a little bit more. There we go. That's good enough. And then I'm just going to put some glue down there. Then let's see what we might put on top of that. I've got these little guys that I got from AliExpress, of course. Seems like everything that I'm telling you guys lately, it's AliExpress. But I did get quite a large order from them. Just some things that I thought I would enjoy using. And these are just little labels. They're different colors and they say different things. And I think I'm going to like that one on there. Oh yeah. Like that color with that. Yeah. I like that. I'm going to ink around it just a tiny bit. And again, I think I'm just going to angle it a little bit. I don't know. I just like that look better than like this. I don't know why, but I do. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to again put my glue just right there. And you know, you could hang a charm from this. Use your little bulb clips and hang a charm from that. That would be so cute. There's lots of different things that you can do. It's just that I'm not going to do everything that I could possibly do with these because the video would be miles long. But I just wanted to show you a few things that you can do that makes these really cute. Now, before we go any further, I'm just going to lay that there. I've got a little template here for just a small tag. And what I thought I would do is cover that with some pretty paper and just tuck that little template tag up in there. Template tag. Tuck it up in there like that. So I'm going to write on here that this is my template tag. And then I'll just take and put that back together before I end up dumping it. I'll just take some of these pieces over here, and some of them I've already cut. I just cut up little pieces of them. They don't have to be the same size as this. I'm basically going to use my template for the top just to cut these little corners. I think I will cover them before I cut them. So let's get some paper and do some covering. This is pretty right here, but I want something with a little bit more color on it, I think. Yeah, here we go. This will be pretty. So we'll go ahead and cover this, and then we'll cut our corners. And these are writable on the back, so I might not even put anything on the back. I might just leave it like it is. One side is shiny, but the other side is not, so it would be good to write on. So I'm putting the shiny side down, and these are just little scraps of, you know, that I got out of ephemera packs and I don't know, the backs of notepads and paper pads and whatever. I just save all of that. I stick it in my drawer and I save it. It's just good for things like this. And even though I'm putting all of these on the same one, they're going to look different because this paper is so different. You know, it's mingled. It's a different color. And like this one, I'll put the chipboard side down because this side you can write on if you wanted to. Let's see. See, some of these I didn't even measure. I just cut them. They do not have to be the same size. I'm going to cut that one off a little bit. Put that one down. So this will be tiny template tags, and what did I call these? Topper tag tucks, or tag tupper talks. I can't remember what I called it. Tag topper tucks. That's what I called it. Tag topper tucks. So these will be tiny template tucks and tag topper tucks in the same video. I know that's a lot of T's, isn't it? Alright, so these are all covered on that one side, and that's all that we need. So we'll use our little template to cut these at the top. And you wouldn't even have to cut them if you didn't want to. You could round them, because once they're tucked up under that top, they're not really going to show anyway. I'm trying to figure out which one's the top. This top part's not going to show too much, so you could do just a rounded top, or you don't even have to do a top on it. You could just put it down just like it is. I think this is the top on this one. Okay, we have all of those cut, and I'm just going to go around them just a little bit with some ink, just to cover up any white spots that I have and kind of make them look like they're finished off. Now let's see how one works, and we can always decorate it later. Just going to see how it works in here. Oh yeah, that works great. Just tuck it up under there. This one may not be completely dry, so let's see. I don't want to push it too hard for that to come off. That'll work. You can always put that one in a little further when it dries. Oh yes, I love that. Look at that. Cute. And then we can decorate these if we need to. Like on that one, I don't think it needs it. That kind of matches that. And this one, I don't think it needs anything. That one, really don't think it does. This one, you might put a little word or something on. That would be cute, just to cut a little word out of a paper or something. You might do that on this one. Let's see if we have anything right here. Let's just put one of these little numbers on there. These are the Tina numbers. Tina from Love Junk Journals. And I love, love, love her numbers. And this is just a tiny one, and I think it'll look good on there. Just a little tiny number. There we go. See, and you can put something on all of these if you want to. Let's see if we have anything else that we might want to put on there. You know, this is the back of one of those ephemera packs, and I'm going to cut these little, they're actually just showing what's in the ephemera, but I'm going to cut those out, and we're going to use them on these little tags. I think they'd be just the right size. There's a little butterfly one. And then there's one that has a little bird's nest and a rose on there. That's cute. And let's see what else we have here. We could cut out. There is another one right there that we could cut. That'd be about the right size. So don't forget to look in places like this and cut things out to use. Because this, if you need little small things, the backs of these ephemera packs, and this is just the backing. This is not even part of the ephemera. Okay, let's cut that little piece off. All right, which one is that going to go on? This one. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I think I'll switch these though. That one needs a little bit more of the color in there. See, those are just cute. I mean, I wouldn't put it that way, but you see what I'm saying. And that's just a little picture off of the back of that ephemera pack. So don't be afraid to use things like that. They work perfect. I never throw away any of that looks good. If it looks good and I think I can use it, I keep it. Because you never know when you're going to need just a little something like this to put on top of a little tag, just a tiny tag. I love these. See, I wish I had all of the backings now off of all the ephemera that I've ever used. That would be a lot. But I could use all of them. Look at that. That just dresses that up just perfect. And we could even put something right here if we have anything that's small enough. Let's see. Let me look. I could cut this little piece out right here. This is just like a little opening frame, but I could use it on there. It's not going to hurt anything. Let's see what it looks like if I put it up there. Oh yeah, I like that. I don't mind that at all. And what I'll do to keep that inside from looking so white, you could go ahead and cut it out if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use my little brush, get a tiny bit of ink on it. I'm just going to brush that across to kind of cover up some of that white, and then we'll put that down. That way it won't, you know, stick out like a sore thumb. And just tuck it right there. And then you could use just a tiny little word or something to put in there if you wanted to do that. There's actually a little word right here. I don't think I need another word, but you could always do that if you wanted to. So put those over there. And that is the tags that we've made so far. I think that is cute. Look at that. Tag topper tucks. Tag topper tucks. I'll never remember that when it comes time to put a name on my video. I'll never remember it. I'll be going, what did I say now? What did I say? Let's put this one on here. I'm probably just going to do 2 or 3 more of these, and then that's going to be it for tonight. Let's do the little piece of lace again, maybe. I mean, there are tons of things that you could use, but I'm just basically using what I have right here. Okay, so that one I ran it all the way up. And then we'll put something on the front. So what about that yellow butterfly right there? I think blue and yellow goes really good together. So I'm going to trim this out just a little bit more. I'm going to take a lot of that white off of it. And then we'll put that down. Let's see if we just put that across like that. And put that up there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's glue our butterfly on here. And let's see, I think I'm going to run him sideways like that. And then I can put my little tag topper on there like that. And I'm just going to use some of this glue since I have it right here open. You don't have to use that, but that's just what I'm using because I have it open right here beside me already. I just grabbed it up. Some people ask me, why do you use that glue and not something else? A lot of times it's just there. I just grab it up. Okay, now you know what I want to put in the middle of that butterfly. And it's not going to make the butterfly a lot thicker because this ephemera or these little pieces of bling are not very thick at all. So I think it'll work fine on here. Just like that. Isn't that cute? And then let's see if this one, I'm not going to tuck it in there hard because that's not glued completely yet. But that is going to go right under there, and that's cute. Okay, I'm just going to stick it under there just a little bit because if I push it under there too hard, it'll glue itself to that. So let's see what we're going to put on here. I'd like to have just a little tiny butterfly. What did I do with those little tiny butterflies? Okay, I'm actually going to cut, this is one of those little stickers, those little washi stickers, and I'm actually going to cut this little vase out away from that larger one. I can still use that. I can just put it on the edge and clip that off. But I needed something about this size, so we're going to use that. Oh, how cute. I love that. That little vase. And we could put just a little word or something up here. This little tiny word right here would work. It's really not a word, I don't think. I think it's a number just scrolled on there. But it was on the back of that ephemera pack, so we're going to use it. And it's the right color. Whoops! Just knocked my glue over. Sorry about that loud noise. Cute. I like that. I really like that. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then that's going to be it probably for today. So, I think I'll use this, and I don't mind that sticking up on the back. That looks fine to me. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. And, I kind of like that just as is, so I might just put a little bit of this cheesecloth on there. I couldn't even remember what it was called. I might just bunch up a little piece of that cheesecloth and put on there, and then maybe put just a little word across there. Okay. Now let's find just a little word. And I'm going to use one of Tina's labels. No. Yes, this is Tina's. Those other labels was Tracy Fox. These are Tina from Shappy Dappy Doodah. I will link their Etsy stores below if I can remember. Usually I have them linked down there, but I don't. Sometimes my links disappear. I don't ever know where they're gone. But I'll try to make sure that they're linked down there. Oh, that one's going to be a little bit big. So what I'm going to do is just cut it off. We'll just use the word. And we'll just put that little word right there. Then I'm going to glue this up close to the top. And again, I'm just turning it sideways a little bit. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I just like that look for these. Okay. And then we need just a little tag, a little tuck tag to go under there. So let's try to find our little template. Here's a tag. There's our template. We just need to cover this with paper. Not big enough. Not big enough. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry if I do. I'm trying not to, but I feel it coming on. Okay, let's use this one. That's pretty with all the writing there. These are from Betty at Betty's Custom Designs on Etsy. That's who made these. Oh, I've got ink all over me. You can tell because I just got ink all over that. I guess I will need to cover that one since I got ink all over it. Okay. There we go. And let's make sure. Oh yeah, it's going to tuck in there. So on this one, I think I'm just going to round the top. Not going to do anything else. I'm just going to round it, and I'm going to use my 1/4 inch. This is a We Are Memory Keepers corner punch. And it's just got the 1/4 and the 1/2 inch on there. Okay, I like that. And I'm going to tuck it really, really easy because I don't want it to stick under there. There we go. And let's put some little something on there, and that will be it. Let's see. This is off the back of an ephemera pack too, and this little thing right here that says little details. I like that, so let's just cut that out and put it on there. You could cut that branch out and put that on there too. Let's see, we might cut this little branch out. Okay, there we go. It's not cut perfect, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I'm going to put it down anyway, and it will be fine. We're just going to kind of tilt it off to that side like that. So when you're doing things like this, it is all in the details. I mean, if you've got little details here and there, then people are going to absolutely love it. Just got to put some little details around so that it catches people's eye. Okay, there we go with that. It just says little details. I'm going to put a tiny bit of ink around this, not much. I don't want to make it dark. And then we shall put that down right there. And there we go. Another little tag. So that is the video on our tag topper tucks. Okay guys, that is it on our tags. See what you think about them. I love them. I love them, love them. Tag topper tucks. There you go. And the idea came from Melina's video where we did these little circles, and I just took this little ticket thing and tucked it up under there, and that's where the idea came from. So you can make these in any size that you want, larger, smaller. And so we have a couple more that we can go ahead and do later on, and these will go perfectly in the journals that I have created today. So if you bought any of those journals, look for some of these. You might get some of these in your journal. All right, we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it so much if you would subscribe. We will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.